name is Mike.
And I'm Ashley. Welcome to episode number 2.
Number 2.
And today we are chopping down complacency and building up determination.
Yes, but before we get into that, we want to take this opportunity to thank all of you guys for your outpouring of support during the episode number 1. We really appreciate it. So we thank you for the loves, the likes, the comments, and the shares. And we ask that you continue to do it, and we'll continue to get better.
Right. And please comment below, because we do feed off of that. We do take what you guys are saying and some of the things that you want to see in the future. So comment below and like and share.
Yes, please do that. But listen, you guys, today is going to be an amazing episode because we are talking about determination and complacency.
Yes.
And I know quite a few people who are complacent, including myself. So this ain't just for y'all, it's for me too. Right. So we're going to take this journey together, and we are going to chop some things down, and we're going to learn how to build it back up.
Exactly.
For sure.
Okay, so we'll start with complacency. So when you think about complacency, you're basically in an area, in a place in your life to where you're self-satisfied, you're self-assured, but it's not in a way that is good. It's not in a way that is good, because when you're actually dealing with complacency, you're unaware of the dangers all around you. So it's not satisfaction in, oh, I finally am here. Mm-hmm. It's more, oh, I got this. You're smug. You think you got it together, mm-hmm. but you actually don't.
Ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, you're not developing. You're not growing or anything.
Yeah. So I was actually looking at Google. I was trying to find the right definition for complacency, right? It's completely what Ashley said, but I want to read the definition so that you sort of kind of get a real good idea of what we're talking about. So the best one that I could find was a person who is complacent is very pleased with themselves or feels that they don't need to do anything about a situation, even though situation may be uncertain or dangerous. Mm-hmm. So piggybacking on what Ashley said, you're just stuck. You know what I'm saying? You're not developing. You're not growing. 5 years will go by and you're still in the same place at the same job in the same position. But that's because you're not aware of it, and you can't challenge yourself, you know?
Right. And that really speaks on, like, if you ask yourself, well, am I complacent? Mm-hmm. Then you're going to look at those things mm-hmm. around you, and you're going to kind of assess your life and mm-hmm. say, okay, am I growing? Mm-hmm. Have I been, like you said, in the same place month after month, year after year? Mm-hmm. And then you have to sit back and ask that question. Am I stuck?
Yeah.
Am I unaware of what's going on around me? And then you have this sense of just being comfortable. Mm-hmm. Nothing around you challenges you. You're doing the same thing over and over and over and not producing anything new.
Absolutely.
And so if you're arriving every day, you're showing up, you're waking up every day, and it's always the same. Mm-hmm. There's no challenge. Yeah. You're bored. Mm-hmm. You can't even find kind of the drive to be excited about anything, much of anything, because you're like, I got this. Okay, we're just going to do this again. You're probably in a state of complacency.
Yeah. And you can more than likely predict the outcomes of just about everything, because your life, mm-hmm. your day is just the same every single day. Right. So you're sort of kind of, I don't really want to say, what's the word I'm looking for? God. Is a word. It's not. I don't want to really say predictable, but that's in a roundabout way what I'm trying to say. Yeah. I mean, you're kind of predictable. You know what I mean? Your routine. That's the word I'm looking for.
But it's not so your routine in a way to where you're not even being challenged. You're not in because routine is good, but it's not good if it's a place of just comfort all the time. Right. And you don't have challenges around. I think that's the key difference of having a good routine and a healthy routine versus having a routine in life where you're just striving to boredom. You're just striving into decline, and that makes all of the difference.
So question, do you think that people choose to be complacent, or they're complacent because of their fear of being uncomfortable?
I think it can be a mixture of different things.
Right.
Because you can slide into complacency without realizing that you're doing it, because mm-hmm. you're obviously unaware. Right. But you become so accustomed to it.
Right.
And because we are creatures of comfort.
Yeah.
We like things that, where we can snuggle up into.
Yeah. Like,
in
we
life.
Want to snuggle up to complacent. That ain't good.
No, it's not good. But I think sometimes we can slide into
Slide
it
into
without
it.
knowing that we're doing that. But there's also that side of it to where we're actually fearful of the challenge. We're
Mhm.
fearful of moving forward. We're fearful of many things like
Mhm.
succeeding.
Right.
You know,
Right.
we're actually afraid of those things. And so
Mhm.
that can actually keep us in a place where we're trapped in complacency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another question, too, about being complacent or people being complacent. Do you think that maybe it's because they don't believe in themselves?
Yeah, I mean, it can be that, but it's largely that you're not self-aware.
Okay, that makes
That's
sense.
largely what
Yeah,
it
what it is.
is. Because in order to be self-aware, you do have to have those checks and balances around you.
Mhm.
You have to have those times when you spend just alone, where you're thinking, you're reflecting
Mhm.
on, okay, how when I do this, what is the what
What
comes,
is an outcome
yeah,
of
the
that?
outcome of
Right.
that. But you have to take time to do that.
Yeah.
You have to take time to say, okay, maybe it's me in
Mhm.
this situation.
Right.
And so that's part of the way you become self-aware, and that's
Mhm.
a large part of knowing where you are in life.
Right.
You know, and another way to realize you're complacent is that you have to have people around you that are also excelling in the
Yes.
things that you're trying to do.
Right.
You know, because you could be around someone and you're like, man, I
Mhm.
know I'm not there, because
Right.
they put that mirror up to you.
Right.
And unless you're in extreme denial, you're gonna see that you're not doing the things that they're doing.
Right.
You know, like you ever see someone in the gym and you
Right.
ain't been to the gym in like a
Right.
year and a half.
And you're not reaping the same benefits as
Right.
that
And
person.
you're like, why are they at this point? You're
Yeah.
like, oh, they're at the gym every day.
Every day.
Oh, they're watching, they're
Yeah.
eating, they're
Yeah.
watching the things that they're taking in, whatever. And so it's important who you keep around you, because that's part of your checks and balances.
Mhm.
You're gonna see right in front of you, like, okay, maybe I could do something different.
Yeah.
Maybe I can do something better. And that's really important,
Really
knowing where you
important.
stand.
It's funny that you had gone into like the friends, because that was going to be my next point, because the people or the company that you keep
Yeah,
can hold you hostage to complacency.
for
You
sure.
know, if you have people in your company that don't challenge, they don't come to you personally and say
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z, but their life, their accomplishments, their whatever should be enough in you to be like, dang, I want to be like that. What
Right.
am I doing wrong? You know,
Right.
let me self-assess and let me figure out what I'm doing wrong so that I can figure it out and reap some of the benefits that they're reaping.
Right.
I'm learning to be that way with the company that I keep.
Yeah.
So my circle is pretty small right now, but the people
Same.
that are in my circle
Mhm.
are accomplished.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't. You said this earlier before we even got on camera. Don't be the smartest one in the room.
Yes.
I tend to be like, I want to be Mr. Know-it-all, but
Yeah.
I'm learning to be humble and to allow other people. They're smarter than me. Some people are
Yeah.
smarter than me, but I'm not afraid of that anymore, right? Because
Right.
there's something that I've learned. I was also reading here too before we got on camera that you have to be okay with still learning, even at an older age or whatever. You're not too or too titled that you still can't learn.
Right.
You have
And
to be
yeah,
teachable.
and that's just like one of the main points as well, that you have to remain in humility. Because that will stunt your growth. If you're arrogant and you're not teachable, that will stunt every time, because truth and wisdom can come from so many different avenues.
Oh man, that's
And
good.
if you don't have the eyes and the ears to hear and see that, you're gonna miss it.
You're gonna miss
And
it.
it's gonna affect your growth every time. And you'll just be left to your own devices, which we all know we can get off track like that. So you have to remain teachable.
Yeah.
And just feel like there's always something for you to know, because we never know everything. I don't care how much we learn, we never know everything.
Yeah.
So keep yourself in that place, and it'll help keep you out of complacency.
I love that. That is so good.
And that's another reason why mentors are so important as well.
Oh yeah.
Because you have to, if you open yourself up to someone that can actually lead you somewhere, that can actually speak into your heart, you'll be able to grow, because you'll always have a listening ear for them.
This girl is good.
Right.
You hear me? She's good. Too, another thing too is that I think sometimes we could just be just so busy, and there's so much noise around us that we
Yeah.
don't really get a chance to really meditate or to think,
Yeah.
it's always something here, something there, and we don't ever slow down enough to have those type of assessments
Yeah.
with ourselves, to think on, all right, where am I at, what am I doing, what's my next move.
Hmm.
And I think that is important. I think, and I was reading this as well, it's important to reinvent yourself often.
Oh yeah, I
you
like
know
that.
that is important. And I agree with it. It's important to reinvent yourself.
So how
Good.
would one go about like the process of reinvention? You
Right.
know, what does that even start to look like?
Right. For one, I do believe that it's about self-assessment. Like, you
Hmm.
have to assess yourself all
Yeah.
the time, where you are, what you're achieving, and things like that. You have to set goals over and over again.
Hmm.
If you set a goal and you've accomplished that goal, don't stop there. Set another goal.
I got you.
Even with your career, if you are in a particular position, reinvent that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Don't be complacent, or don't be okay with just that position.
Yeah.
Learn all that you can learn so that you can step into the next position.
Yeah.
But definitely self-assessment.
Yeah.
I think you have to be completely aware of what you're doing, where you are, and what you're accomplishing.
Yeah, that's good. And I do like the what you said about setting goals, and just always shooting for more.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you're shooting for more, is teaching somebody else what you already
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
That is so good.
Yeah,
That is
because
so good.
even if you don't see, okay, there's another position for you,
Mm-hmm.
but there's always somebody you can help bring up,
Mm-hmm.
somebody you can help
Yeah.
learn to better their life. And
Mm-hmm.
if that's part of your focus in life
Anyway,
you can't really go
you
wrong.
can't.
With the things that you're doing,
You're
because your
absolutely
goal
right.
is to, I'm going to bring people
That's
up.
it. That's
I'm
it.
going to help somebody else's
That's it.
life. So
One of
that's
my
good.
old bosses always told me, he said that, listen, I'm not afraid to teach you what I know, because it'll make it easier for me to go to the next
There you
level.
go.
Because if I already have somebody trained up to take my position, then
Yeah.
the only way for me to do is to move up.
Yeah.
And you be the same way. So even on my job, I don't want to be the person that knows everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to teach the next person, what I know, because I want to be able to move up and you step in my position.
Yeah.
You
I
apply
like
that in
that.
life in general,
Yeah.
not just on your
I
job.
like that. That's
It's
like the
it's
true
good.
servant leader.
Yes.
Is the person who actually leads in a way to where they're not hoarding information, to where they're not hoarding success, or not hoarding things that can better someone else.
Yes.
That is a true leader.
That is a true leader.
And it's like the true servant leader. Like I said,
Yes.
you're actually living and leading to give.
Yep.
and to prepare someone else, and
Mhm.
that takes humility.
Yeah.
Takes
So
humility.
that's complacency.
Yeah.
How do you get out of complacency?
Well, I mean, you did touch on a little bit with the goals. But
How do you get
I'm
out
gonna
of
let him have
complacency?
that.
I think the number one thing is determination.
Hmm.
You have to be determined to get out of a situation, or to grow, or to move forward. Determination is key. What is determination? Let's talk about it. So, firmness or purpose, resoluteness, that's what determination is. It is being in control and being decisive about the outcome that you're wanting, that you're desiring. And being in control means that you do have to be sort of kind of self-aware.
Not sort of kind of. You got to be.
You have to be self-aware. You have to be, absolutely. And determination, you have to have some type of attitude. You have to be strategic in what it is, or what the end result is that you're hoping for.
I like that, because when you're talking about end result of something, that's vision.
Oh, yes.
You have to be able to see where you're going, even if no one else around you sees it, and that way you can strive, you can keep pushing, you can keep moving forward, because you see it no matter what obstacles are around you.
No matter what obstacles are around you. A good example is, and there's so many things that could drive determination.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it looks different for different people. Different scenarios produces certain types of determination. For me, I'm determined just in general in every area of my life. So I have made up in my mind that no matter what obstacles come, no matter what hurdles I've got to overstep or jump over, I'm still going to keep moving. And you have to keep in mind too, that just because you're determined, or you have that determination and you're moving forward, it doesn't mean that that it's gonna stop you if those obstacles come or those hurdles come. You just have to have in your mentality, in your mind, that I'm going to keep moving
Yeah.
no matter what. That is what
Yeah.
determination is.
Yeah.
You know, and the reality is, it's never an easy road to success.
No, y'all, life is hard at times. You know, as much as we enjoy ourselves and we enjoy life, sometimes life is hard. And so you have to have that grit
You have to
about
have
you.
grit. That's the word I was
Yeah, you
looking
have
for.
to have that grit that when you get down,
Mm-hmm.
you absolutely know that you're going to get back up and you're
Yep.
going to fight until you get past that thing.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and when you have that, nobody can really tell you a
Nobody
thing.
can tell
You're
you
gonna,
nothing.
you know, you're gonna be
Can't
able
tell
to
you
get to where
nothing.
you're going
You're
at
gonna
some
get there.
point
At some
because
point.
you're gonna fight for it.
You're gonna fight for it.
Yeah,
That's what determination is.
I like
And
that.
I
That's
love that.
encouraging
That
me
was
today.
it encouraged me too, right?
You know, you can feel
You
like a
know,
little right there. You're like, okay, I
that's
need
it.
that right now.
That's it. So I was doing some. Yes, I have notes. So what? I want to make sure I'm not misinforming anybody, right?
Funny ass.
So here are 9 points that I wrote down. How do you show determination? The first one is define success for yourself.
Mm,
The second one is set personal, academic, and career goals. We touched on
yeah.
that throughout this episode. Keep your expectations high.
Mm,
You can't have low standards or low expectations and expect to move forward or to be successful
yeah.
or to accomplish big things.
I feel like that's for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and not necessarily expectations you put on other people,
Right.
but for yourself.
For yourself.
You expect,
Exactly.
I like that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because you expect more from
You
yourself.
do.
So, you know, if you've missed the mark, you're like, you know what? I know I can do more than
Yes,
that. I
that's
like
it.
that.
That's it. That's it. And then also understand, I love this one, understand your abilities and your disabilities.
That's where humility comes in.
You know, you can't be afraid to say, I ain't able to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't be
Yeah.
afraid to do that.
Yeah.
And that's about being aware of what you are good at and what you're not good at.
Yeah.
You know, even if you're not good at something, it doesn't mean that you can't become good at it. You just have to acknowledge that you're not good at it now.
Yeah.
I'm disabled. I can't do that. You know, but that doesn't mean that you can't have the ability to do it. But
Yeah.
being aware of that is extremely
Yeah.
important, and being determined. And then play into your strength. So that kind of piggybacks on what I was
Yeah.
saying. Be aware of disabilities, but play on your strength.
Yeah.
So if you know that you're stronger in this area, play on that.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that. And then because especially like for me, I guess it's for everybody, but when you're aware of the things you're strong and you're weak at, you can put yourself in a place
Mhm.
of your strength,
Mhm.
and you can bring other people on in the areas where you're
That's
not
good.
strong, you know,
God,
and
that's good.
it all ties hand in hand, which ties back with your circle, the people keep around you.
That
It
is
ties
good.
back to humility, all of that. Because you want to bring people in where those weak, because sometimes you don't
Absolutely.
have the life to build up where you're weak at.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
I don't care how much
That
I
is
work.
good to
You know
me.
what I'm saying? I don't care how much I work and learn some type of mathematics. Listen,
Let me tell you
I'm
something.
not gonna be no physicist.
That ain't, you know, I'm good at numbers, but I ain't trying to be no
Listen,
physicist.
no, and it's just some things that I am not. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to do. So I'm gonna get somebody that can, and I'm gonna work over here. We're gonna work together, and then we're gonna be okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And we just hit on this one. Develop strategies to meet your goals. You got to be strategic. You know, even in goal setting, you still have to be.
Yeah.
Here's something that I tell people all the time: don't go setting a goal that you know that you can't accomplish.
Right.
Because what that produces when you don't accomplish that is going to make you feel defeated.
Yeah.
And it's going to produce you to fall back into complacency.
Yeah.
So set realistic goals.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I
like
mean?
That. And I mean, like, I believe in aiming high,
Mhm.
but you also like it's just all about being self-aware.
Self-aware.
You know, like, okay. So how many times have you lost someone who's been trying to rap or make music for like
that ain't your calling.
for like,
Sit down.
35 years, and you're like, bro, look, that ain't you. But they can't hear that because they're not self-aware
They're not
enough
self-aware
to know
of it.
that they're not even good.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Or to know that it's actually bringing their
Yep.
lives.
Yep.
You know, so anyways, that was a sidebar.
That was a good sidebar. That was a good
sidebar.
And then I've got work hard, persevere, and be flexible.
Yeah.
That is important too. You know, be flexible. And then the last one that I have is develop a support network. Look to family, friends, and teachers. Go back to what Ashley was talking about, having a circle of people
Yeah.
that you can look to for support.
Yeah.
One thing that I've learned in my years of living is that you can't make it by yourself.
No.
You cannot, as much as we try and we want to.
Yeah, like I got this.
Yeah.
And you don't.
You don't. You got to have somebody,
and you don't. Even in though there are times where you will be isolated.
Yes.
And you learn in those times.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not a permanent position for
right.
you
It's not.
to be isolated. We're not built that way.
We're not.
Built for community.
Isolation is good though sometimes.
That's what yes. But it's always a season.
Yeah.
It's not
season.
It's
don't
not
get stuck in isolation.
Yeah, it's not a permanent place.
Yeah.
Because you can only grow so far alone. And that's just the truth.
That
I
is
mean,
the truth.
We're just built that way.
We are. And it took me years to learn that. But now I'm in a position where I do look to my friends and my family for support.
Yeah.
And it's always good. The worst thing that a person can do is bottle up things, because what it does is it festers and it grows.
Mm-hmm.
It produces so many different things, negative things, not good things.
Yeah.
So it's always good to have somebody that you can go and vent to share things of you, because you feel lighter, and then maybe they can offer you some advice or some inspiration or some motivation. So just keep that in mind, that you cannot make it alone in any situation. You need somebody. But that's what determination is, and we all need to strive to be determined so that we fall into complacency.
And another sidebar, y'all, but this goes right with it. Read.
Reading is fundamental.
Because sometimes you don't have a mentor at hand where you can just call them or you can just talk to them and they can feed into you.
Yeah.
But there are so many books out there. There's audiobooks, there are podcasts.
Yes.
In this day and age, you can find a mentor somewhere, even if it's someone that you don't know, where you're renewing what's going on inside of you, your mind, you're thinking better. So find you a mentor, even if it's through those things.
Absolutely. That was another one of my my targets on determination. Use technology as an empowering tool. There is so much technology out there, so many things, apps and all those things. Listen, I talked to somebody on Ginger. It's an app. It's a therapist. I talk to them, but it just goes to show that there are things out there for you when you don't have people in reach. Definitely utilize those. One of the first episodes that we were going to do was talking about bad habits.
Yeah, we're still going to do that episode.
We're still going to do that episode, right? But anyway, I wrote some notes from that, and it sort of kind of ties into what we're talking about.
Okay, I'm going to let you tell.
So this says, if you're having trouble changing your habits, the problem isn't you. The problem is your system. Bad habits repeat themselves not because you have the wrong system for change. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your system. The quality of your life depends on the quality of your habits.
I hear that.
So that kind of, atomic habits, but that falls into being determined. You have to break certain things, prior to developing a determined nation in a sense. And we all have those bad habits. But that's another episode.
It's probably
we'll get
the
into
next
it.
episode.
That was a little teaser, but it's sort of kind of tied into what we're talking about. I told y'all this was going to be a really, really good episode. Yeah, really, really good episode.
And you will find that most things tie together.
Yes.
I mean, in life, because everything influences the other.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't matter what it is. It always influences one thing. So you can almost guarantee when one thing is off, it's going to hit you somewhere else. So it's just the way it goes.
Makes sense. That's amazing, man. So listen, here's the thing. I've told all of y'all before, maybe this episode, last episode, that we're on a journey together. This podcast is not just for us. Yeah. We are humans still trying to make it, still trying to figure things out, and that's why we want to share this with you. This is who we are. And the things that we're talking about is not because we have arrived. It's because we may be dealing with some of the same things that we're talking about. Yeah. So we're going to take a journey together. We really do appreciate you guys logging on or jumping in and viewing and even putting your comments after we post this. Let us know what you think. even if you have some pointers, if you want to
Yes.
add to something
Please
that we
put your
said,
pointers and your tips down there,
please
because
do.
that's going to help somebody else.
It
Because you know we
is.
live for, everybody lives for the comments. Okay?
Yes.
So get the good comments out there that can
Mhm.
help other people, because
Yes.
we're going to learn from it and other people will too. So we appreciate
Absolutely.
that.
We definitely appreciate it.
All right, so we are done.
We are done.
We are done for now, but we will see you next week. And thank you so much for tuning into Mind Chop.
Yes.
And we'll see you next time.
And we chopped it down and we built that thing back up. So until next time, y'all be good.
Bye.
Goodbye.